Lara Kassir, certified clinical hypnotherapist and certified brain spotting practitioner, and also mind coach.
Can you tell me a little bit about your own journey?
Sure. So my own journey, it started because I was experiencing eating disorders since I was a teenager. So since I was, I think it started around 14. And at the beginning, I wasn't really taking it seriously. I think I was trapped in denial, which is the most basic self-defense mechanism. And it was on and off, but I noticed that it was definitely decreasing the quality of my life. And at some point, I thought that I needed to do something about it. Talk therapy wasn't that successful. It was great for self awareness, but it didn't really treat me. So I didn't do that much of it. So I tried hypnotherapy. That's what I tried first. And hypnotherapy was amazing. Like the first session that I did, I felt an emotion that was trapped in my subconscious was released, but in such a powerful way. Meaning that after the first session, I felt an extreme feeling of anger being released in my body. So I thought I need to be certified in that modality because it can help a lot of people, and people are probably not even aware of that. Because a lot of people have misconceptions about hypnosis, and I had too. So I just went because my friend told me it worked, and indeed it was very powerful. So this is why I decided to move to California, because the best institute, HMI, of hypnosis, which is a mix of, they have a clinic over there. It's a mix of theory and clinic. Yeah, and I started working there. So this is my journey. And then after that, I decided, so this is when basically, when I moved in 2018, when I moved to California, this is when truly my spiritual journey and my healing journey started. Before that, I felt like I was okay, but I still felt I had blockages, even if it wasn't for the eating disorders, but certain feelings that were coming up, like I felt like I had anger at times, and I just didn't feel my best self. Let's put it that way. Sometimes we wear masks. I didn't feel like I was my authentic self and my best self. So I decided to dive into that spiritual journey. Especially in California, it was much easier because a lot of people were already into it, especially in my hypnotherapy school, and that was truly amazing. So I discovered so many different modalities: breath work, silent retreats, kundalini. I started many different modalities and many different techniques, and spending a lot of time in nature, grounding, the woods. And after that, I started brain spotting. I tried brain spotting, and that one was a life changer because brain spotting tapped into my subcortex, into the traumas, and that took me to another level. I did it consistently. So some people just do it one, two, or three times. I wanted I wanted to continue that journey because I saw a lot of results. And yeah, so mainly those modalities. But as I said, I tried many different modalities, and it's almost like a mindset. Once you start that, you you see so many results, basically, even though it's not linear, but it's so rewarding. And then I started, obviously, working and helping others. That's also very rewarding. So yeah, that's my journey.
What is brain spotting?
So brain spotting is a brain and body modality that is specifically designed for people suffering from post-traumatic stress disorders. So people who have small T's and big T's. Because what happens when we are, first of all, what is a trauma? As opposed to a negative experience, a trauma is basically an event that was too much for our brain to process. So what happens is that whatever's left unprocessed gets stuck in the subcortex. And basically that energy, that it's not only a memory, it's also trapped in our body. I don't know if you're familiar with the book, The Body Keeps the Score. It explains it very well, that emotions are energy in motion. And when you start being aware of your body, you will notice that each and every emotion, let's say you get scared, or you're in love, or joy, or whatever it is, but especially the negative experiences, we feel them so much in our bodies. I just say especially because when we're scared, it's so sudden, and usually it feel in the heart, you feel it straight away. But some people feel it more in the gut, right? It all depends, because the gut is the second brain. When people are anxious or stressed, sometimes they have lots of disturbances in the gut area or in the back of the neck. That's what I have. So everybody's different, but the point is that when there's a certain emotion, we always feel first in the body. It's just that we are not aware of it because our rational mind, our prefrontal cortex, we're always encouraged by society to be very rational and very logical. So we never really connect with our bodies, and we're always overriding with logic. But in reality, everything is in the body. So that modality is very powerful. Why? Because it takes into consideration the body. So it releases that emotional, physical, and traumatic memory from the body and the mind. So both, what happens in brain spotting is that through the eye movements, through a certain brain spot, it's more specific than EMDR, they will be able to connect with that memory, connected to that emotion, lower vibrational emotion. And so that way we can release it from both the body and the mind. And some people start crying, or some people have body sobs, or they shake, or it's very powerful. It's extremely powerful.
What is it like helping your clients with all sorts of methods?
It's very rewarding because up in a time I was there, I felt stuck too, and I also felt like a lower version of myself. And I think one of the privileges of this life is self-actualization, is becoming who you truly are, unlocking your full potential. And sometimes unlocking your full potential, yes, it could be obviously in your professional life, but also in your personal life, also your relationship with yourself, being able to love and be loved, and being vulnerable, all of the above. It's not one thing, but yes, basically becoming a higher version of yourself, who you truly are before the traumas, before the programming, reconnecting to your true self, your authentic self, because that's what it is. We put all these masks on because as a protection. It's a self-defense. Most of the time, they're coping mechanisms, self-defense mechanisms. So we don't really need that. We can feel safe. And again, brain spotting. So because we need to adapt to everybody, right? Not everybody's ready to go into deep trauma straight away. So that modality also offers a resource spot. So if somebody doesn't feel safe within self, we don't want to re-traumatize them, and we want to get them to the resource spot first, which is a spot, it's like our inner power, our inner strength. We all have a place in our bodies where we feel safe, and so we're going to activate that. And sometimes I use both during the same session. So yeah, that's why it's a very it's great, because you could do many things with that modality.
You said during that, you said program yourself. So what is it like to reprogram someone?
Oh yeah, very good question. So basically, this is more of a hypnosis question, hypnotherapy question. Basically, from age 0 to 8, we are absorbing. So kids have, their brain are like sponges, they're absorbing everything. So they hold everything, all the information around them, as the absolute truth. So whatever they're, not only whatever the parents say, but what they see, or what they witness. So the parents' habits, the parents' relationships, their siblings, teachers, so whoever is around them, that's going to be the absolute truth. So that's going to be their programming. The programming will be wherever they grew up with, the people they grew up with. And that programming is so powerful. And sometimes, unfortunately, as adults, it does not serve us, because what happens is that that subconscious mind, that programming, is 88% of our total mind power, and it works through associations, right? So that's why, let's say, if somebody was bitten by a dog when they were 5 years old, most likely as adults, they're not going to like dogs. They're not going to feel comfortable around dogs. And the same happens with everything. The ocean. I love the ocean, but some people are scared of the ocean. Why? Because maybe when they were 6 years old or 7, they witnessed somebody drowning in the ocean and scared them, or themselves, they had an incident. So our brain works through associations. Same with comfort food. Every time we had a good grade, a celebration, anything, we always had sugar. So as adults, we naturally gravitate around comfort food when we feel down, or it's very common for many adults. And that's because it's somehow programmed in our mind. So the exercise, the goal with hypnosis, is basically replacing that old programming that is no longer serving you because it's not aligned with your goals, with a new programming that is aligned with your goals. So replacing certain patterns that became destructive over time, or toxic, or not helpful, with self-supportive patterns that are helping you achieving whatever your goal is. So the goal is from the rational mind. Okay, so it's only the 12%. So it's not that powerful. That's why talk therapy is very limited. Coaching is very limited. It's great for self-awareness, but you're not going to go to the core issue. And that's why people come to me, come to somatic modalities, because it's not enough.
When you work with your clients, do you see their confidence level rise as they go through the process?
Absolutely. But before the confidence, the self-awareness. The biggest thing, Michael, is that we tend to lie to ourselves so much. Because the truth sometimes is just hard to face. But you become so honest with yourself. You're not able to lie to yourself anymore, and that makes you more powerful as a human being. You become much more powerful. So yes, indirectly, your confidence rises because you are in the truth. You're like, okay, this is it. This is my reality. Whatever it is, I need to improve this, or this relationship is not working, and as hard as it is, I'm going to have to do something about it. So it's basically really facing our emotions, even the most uncomfortable ones, instead of running away, instead of using coping mechanisms like drinking, eating, gambling, sex, or even relationships. Some people are addicted to relationships. They use it as a coping mechanism. But it's really looking at your life and looking inwards with new glasses, and knowing that you're strong enough to handle the truth and to change your reality. Only when you accept your reality, you can change it. So I would say it starts with self-acceptance, and it starts with radical truth, and then yes, of course, they become more confident because they know that whatever happens, they have themselves. They're strong enough. They feel safe within self to go through whatever in life. It's like basically you're equipped. You're now equipped to go through whatever happens. So of course it rises your self-confidence significantly.
You bring up a lot about spirit. So how important is it to take care of your mind, body, and spirit all together?
Yeah, I love that question. Okay, so spirit is basically the only thing that doesn't change, because our bodies change, right? One day we overeat, we're going to be a little bit heavier, or we can over exercise and look better, whatever. So the body changes all the time. The moods change too. Our psychological moods, we have different types of mood. We're happy, we're irritable, we're sad. Okay, so this is not us. So our physical appearance change. Our thoughts also change. They could change from 1 minute to another, but what never changes? It's the spirit. The spirit never changes. So that's what we want to connect to. Because when you connect to your spirit, the fear goes away, because you know who you are. You reconnect with that part of yourself that never changes. And that's really beautiful. After doing all that spiritual work, I feel like when I meet people, I can read their spirit, and it makes it so much easier for me too. Like, it's great. It's really great because and it's almost like an aura. It's an energy, it's an aura. But unfortunately, when we wear all those masks because we're unhealed and traumatized and protecting, then it's hard. We don't even know what our spirit is, and it's hard for us to connect with others as well. So yeah, the spirit is really what we need to cultivate, and this work is allowing you to access your spirit and discover your spirit if you don't know what it is. It's a deep work. It's beautiful. That's what I always say. Healing is a journey. It takes time. So you could stop, as early as you want, but you might miss the point, which is, it's so beautiful to really get into enlightenment and access that spirit and this makes you extremely confident. So to go back to your question, this makes you very confident because you're like, oh yeah, I know. Sometimes like I would connect with my spirit animal, and yeah, I just now I know who is my spirit, what my spirit is made of. And yes, it did make me confident. It gives you some inner strength. It gives you something to connect with at any time, even when things get hard or you're out of, you're basically like things are shaking in your life. They're shaky. So it gives you, yes, a lot of stability too.
I can definitely hear the passion in your voice talking about this. So, how does it feel for you to be helping others?
It feels amazing because I help them unlock deep traumas. I help them basically see the truth and live their best lives and be their best selves. Yeah, it's very beautiful, especially if they're very committed and they want to do it. It's very rewarding. I have clients that I know for years, and they choose to come back and work in deeper layers of their consciousness, and I really appreciate that because I can see great results in their lives and how they evolved, and yeah, it's very rewarding, definitely.
What do you do to help your own mental health?
I do all of the things that I mentioned. Yeah, it's for real. So yesterday, for example, I was listening to a hypnosis recording before I went to sleep. So that's what I do. I provide MP3 recordings to my clients. I do brain spotting regularly. I've been doing that for years, but I keep it up. I like to keep it up so the triggers don't come back as well. So with my therapist in France, and I like to do breath work. Also, is very powerful modality. And I ground a lot. I journal and I ground. I live in Miami, so I'm lucky to have the beach. But when I was in California, I had the woods. I feel like, to me, and for most of us, because we're only a step above animals, we need nature to ground ourselves. And we forget how it calms our nervous system. It's just amazing. So I do all of these things, and journaling is also very powerful. The breathing, what came up also, I wasn't breathing like that before all of this work. I wasn't mindful about my breathing. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm more mindful about my body. I'm like, okay, what is my body feeling? What am I noticing in my body at the moment? I wasn't doing that before. So now I'm able to calm myself and my nervous system in natural ways with deep breathing, noticing the emotions in my body. I have much more basically I'm mastering my emotions. Between stimuli and response, there's a gap, and that's instead of reacting, you can respond. So you become much more powerful. I'm very mindful and aware, and I make sure that I'm disciplined. I also exercise a lot. I guess it also helps, the cardio and sweating, like sauna. I like sauna, infrared. I do everything that I can.
So, where do you want to see your mission, say, in the next 3 to 5 years?
So I would like to add more modalities because what I noticed with myself and also with my clients is that one modality isn't gonna make it. It's you need sure at the beginning it's great, but when you add different modalities, you have more chances of reaching your goal, and it improves basically that healing journey. So my goal is basically to add different modalities. So I will add Reiki, so that's energy healing. I'm gonna add that modality too, and also breath work being started, because breath work is extremely powerful. I wasn't expecting it to be so powerful. So I want to add those two modalities so I can mix, at the beginning of my sessions, I can add like a 10-minute breath work, which will allow people to go into deeper layers of their consciousness in a quicker way. So that's a technique to access your subconscious quicker. So yeah, mainly breath work is my next training.
So how can people reach out and learn more?
So there's my website, www.larakassir.com. And I'm also on social media, Lara K1 on Instagram. They can learn more on my website, and they can book a free discovery consultation. It's 20 minutes via Zoom if they want to know more about those modalities and how it can fit their issue.